Ja jestem duchem, który ciągle przeczy i słusznie, bowiem co się tu poczęło, jedynie godnym jest, aby zginęło, więc lepiej by nic nie rodzono w świecie. Słowem to wszystko, co wy grzechem zwiecie, zniszczeniem lub wprost złem przeklętym, jest mym właściwym elementem.
Czy można?
Słucham.
Nadchodzi noc, kilimem mroku z nieba spływa i dom twój i ścieżkę, na której czekam w sobie.
Cześć!
Koniecznie zadzwoń, jak dojedziecie.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Live with Suzi. We are very pleased to actually introduce you to a great animation. And on that note, we are talking to the producer for it from Poland, all the way on the line to Poland. We're speaking with Ewa. Thank you so much for being our guest and accepting our invitation. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with Suzi and everybody who is listening.
Well, first of all, tell us about this COVID-19. How has that affected you in Poland? I know it's affected us all globally, but
I think we are more or less the same bad situations than you are in the US. You know, There are a lot of people getting sick and, unfortunately, quite many people are dying. So everybody's waiting for the vaccine to come and hopefully just to make the situation a little bit better.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we'll wish everyone well and wish that you keep well and safe as well. Now, let's go to our animation, and this is a very exciting one, surreal and really striking animation movie that we're introducing via Ewa, the producer, and it's called Kill It and Leave This Town. Tell us about the name, the movie, what made you actually want to produce this? I know you've done plenty in your work that I've checked out, your bio, you've produced plenty of movies in the past, but what made you particularly decide to produce this one, and how did you meet the director, Mariusz?
I met the director. Maybe I start with that. I met the director. It was like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was coincidence. We were in the same local TV program. After the film I produced, Ida, got a foreign language Oscar, and there was
congrats for that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it was really local TV, and it was for, just to introduce us, the, let's say, Oscar winners or Oscar nominees from our region. Mm-hmm. And Mariusz was there as well, although he was not nominated or got any Oscar, at least not yet then. But the other animator, the Mr. Wilczyński, who got an Oscar for short animation, years back, couldn't come. So she said, "Okay, there's my great colleague there living in Łódź, in the place where everything happened. So invite him." And this is how I met Mariusz there. And he came to me after the screening, asking if I would be interested to help him finish the animation, because he was already producing that and working on it for 11 years by that time. And I saw the film, the animatic at that time. It was, over 2 hours animatic. Mm-hmm. And I was really struck with the beauty of what I saw, although it was very, very raw material. Mm-hmm. But also that was, I was very personally connected, because that animatic and now the film was showing, my childhood, the town where I was born, the town where I live now, and also, my very, very first childhood memories, cinematic memories, because one of the scenes in the film shows the place, which is called, it's cafeteria, it's called Jubileuszowa, where me as a child, I was going there with my father. My father was every Sunday morning. My father was reading the newspapers. I was having some sweets. But what is important, next to this cafeteria was cinema. The name of the cinema was called Freedom, Wolność in Polish. And there, every morning, we start Sunday morning going with my father to see the movies. And there were animations, because there were animations for kids. So it was really the place where my father was taking me, and cinema, and where I was watching animation. There was really something which really, spoke to my memories of childhood. And I felt very personally attached to the film. And I really wanted to be a part of it.
How
It
exciting
is.
it is, really. I mean,
Yeah.
what a small world after all, right?
Yes, very small word. We didn't know, only during the process we found with Mariusz that we, for some years we were living in the same neighborhood, just around the corner from each other. So there was really, there was a lot of places, everything what he shows from the town he presents in the film. This is my town. I know all the places. I know everything. So it's a very close personal connection with the film.
That's lovely. And then obviously, basically, because of all those that you explained and a lot more, I'm sure that time doesn't allow us to go to more detail, although you told me everything the other day that we were talking.
Yes.
That brings us to the fact that you helped it out and you made that whole thing to 88 minutes feature animation. And then obviously then you started going to different festivals. If you want to talk about that to us, and then the reviews you've been receiving would be lovely for our audience.
Yes. The festival, of course, we wanted the film to premiere in the big festival because, I really truly believe that this film is a piece of art. It's a very unique piece of art. It's on the verge of, cinema and fine art. It's beautiful. So it was very important for us to put it in one of the major festivals. So not position it only as animation. We wanted to position it as a movie, as a big film. And so that's why, we decided, okay, we will try one of two big European festivals, meaning Berlin and Cannes. And, both festivals expressed their interest in the film. But of course, at that time, it was November 2019. It was too early for Cannes to say, yes, we want the film. They loved the film, but they said, okay, our festival is only in May. We need some more time, see more films, and then decide. And Berlin was really, really wanted the film to be there. And, we were discussing with Mariusz, but finally we said, okay, let's not wait. Let's not risk. And let's go to Berlin. And we were not in the main competition, but it was even better for the film. We were in the new competition, new section, which was called Encounters. And we were there, and the film was beautifully received both by the audience and by the critics. So, and then, after Berlin, unfortunately, the pandemic started. And of course, so we were very lucky. We went to Berlin and had this beautiful premiere because, as we know, Cannes did not happen. Right. And the festival life, started in Berlin, the festival life of the film. This year, we were invited to 35 festivals. And, we were in 15 main competitions. We got, just the 7 main awards. And I think just after Berlin, the very important for the animated films is festival in Annecy in France. Then we were in Ottawa. Then we were in Lima. And we were in Vienna, in Biennale. And recently in Hokkaido, just to mention some of them, just to mention a few. And as maybe you can hear, it was all over the world. It was like Berlin, Annecy, but then it was Ottawa, Canada. There was Lima in Peru. There is lovely. Vienna. There was Hokkaido.
It's a great animated feature. And like you mentioned, it has a combination of everything. It's a very touching one. I mean, for you, because of different reasons, it was your city, you were born there, so many memories. But for me, even, I've never even been to Poland. But the actual message that it gives to a viewer, it's very strong and absolutely touching. Brought tears to my eyes. So I can understand, why is it being so well received, really. Now, on that note, we have a couple of more minutes to the end of our interview. I know it's your nighttime over in Poland. I don't want to keep you too long. I want to stick with my promise. Let's touch on the great music of it, because I love music. I always talk and interview a lot of musicians. And the musician and the music of this feature animated was amazing. Tell us a little about that, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very, very happy to hear that, because this is really, the music is absolutely beautiful. The musician who is not anymore with us, he died some years ago. His name is Tadeusz Nalepa, and he was, the singing blues, and he was absolutely independent artist. He was in 70s and early 80s. He was not, on any radios, on any programs in Poland. He didn't want to be, connected to any, at that time, regime radios. So he really, was living his independent life of an artist.
Right.
And Mariusz loved his music, and he really wanted to meet the guy, because he was fascinated what the guy was doing. And they finally met, to pull this long story short. They finally met. Mariusz was chasing him, this concerts, and when they met, they became friends. And so this was really, and Tadeusz, the musician, had a very, very strong influence on Mariusz as an artist, knowing what the real art, what to be a real artist mean, how it's important is to keep your independence, how to important to be and to do what you really believe in, both in art, in music, so I think that was a great influence, and Mariusz is really, the film is also a thank you and goodbye to Tadeusz Nalepa, to the great musician.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ewa. I wish we had more time to discuss further, like you and I had time the other day, and it was a lovely conversation I had with you off the air. However, as for the purpose of our viewers and listeners, I'd like to thank you so very much to talk to us, and hopefully people would go and see this great movie, even though it's throughout a pandemic, whatever, but nothing will stop us, our art lovers, to check it out. We will put the website out so people can check it out. And once again, thank you so much. And let's keep in touch. When you are in Los Angeles, hopefully soon in the future, we will meet in person and talk more.
I hope. Thank you very much, Suzi, for the invitation. And I hope, if maybe, because our film is running for the animation Oscars. So maybe, we will be able to come in April to Los Angeles, and I'll be very happy to meet you in person.
I definitely keep my fingers crossed. And a lot of guests in the past who happened to interview me on my shows actually won Oscars. So for some reason they tell me there is something going on here in my show and interviews. So on that note, I'm sure you will also win. But thank you so very much and keep safe.